Okay, so welcome to BPM 2015. Colleagues, friends and gentlemen and ladies. My name's Luke Edwards from Korg, product specialist for all things high tech, including the fabulous Volcas, which we're going to see today. So what the Volcas, they're basically analog synths. We came out with these a couple of years ago, and they've just blown us away how popular they've been. And the sound of them is incredible, as you'll hear in a minute. So there's basically 4 in the range. You've got the Volca Beats, you've got the Bass, you've got the Keys, and you've got the Sample. The Sample is a new addition to the family. So I'm just going to kind of just take on a quick spin through what they are. So first of all, the Volca Beats, analog drum machine, 10 different parts, and because it's analog, of course, you've got complete manipulation of all the different drum sounds. So if you want to listen to the kick, we can play it back. We can add a bit of snap to it. Clip it short. Tune it. Same thing with the snare. Okay, the snap out of it. You can tune it. Decay time and so on. So you have that same kind of control for all the different drum parts. But where it really comes into its own is when you start sequencing. So you've got a pattern sequencer built in. So that means you can just make your beats really quickly. So let's clear the pattern that's in there, start it off. And I'm going to go to my kick part and start stepping in the pattern. So now we've got a kick drum on a loop, snare, low tom, and you've got this beautiful ribbon interface as well, so we can just paint in a whole lane of hi-hats, for example, or get rid. What's nice though is that you can record in real time as well, which means I take it out of step mode, get it running, and then just drop in other parts. So if I want some claps, for example, I can tune them as well. I can just record that straight in. I then quantize it to the nearest 16th as well. Again, really useful. I can mute parts. I can solo parts. My favourite thing on the Volca Beats though is the stutter. That's the thing on the left-hand side here. It's basically like a MIDI re-trigger. It sounds a bit like a delay, but it's not actually an effect. It's re-triggering MIDI notes. So, for instance, I can use it like a gate, like this. So it just clips everything really short, or more of a kind of phasey kind of thing. Or once I start bringing the time up, check this out. What's cool though is, well, you can that's called a global stutter at the moment, but it can be per part. So if I only want to apply that to the kick drum, for example, I can do it like this. And I can record that as automation. We call it motion record, but it's basically automation. So I can turn that on, hit record. Here we go. So if I wanted to apply stutter to another part, say the snare, I could do that independently as well. So let's record that. You can also use it for other clever stuff like double timing on the hats. So go to the hi-hat part. So they're now playing double speed. And I can also remove the motion record, so I'm bound back to my raw sounds, or with the motion record. So that's just scratching the surface of the Volca Beats. Let's go into the Volca Bass now. So, fully analog bass machine, same features as the Volca Beats in that it's got a pattern sequencer built in. I can play it chromatically on the keyboard. It's got a massively deep analog sound here. Filter, analog filter obviously. Great LFO as well. Massive power. And you've got 3 oscillators as well, so you can stack those together and you can detune them as well. So let's make a pattern now. There's 2 ways. First of all, you can record in real time. And I've got them all synced together. They all come included with these sync cables. So you just daisy chain them together, and that means they will all follow the first one in the chain, which will be the master clock. So, here we go. That's one way to record. Second way is step record. So I've cleared that now. Let's do a different recording. So it's shift record now. I'm in step record mode. It's waiting on step 1 for me to tell it what note to play. So I'm going to go, okay, I'll have that note. Step 2, step 3, step 4. I can miss out steps as well. Let's listen back. Evil instrument, but it just sounds so amazing. So, Volca Bass, Volca Beats, Volca Keys, my personal favourite. This is a 3-part polyphonic synthesizer, basically. Again, completely analog. We've got 3 different. We've got different ways we can use it. So, in poly mode, we can play up to 3 different notes, and all of these Volcas have got MIDI as well. So I've got a MIDI cable plugged into my Volca Keys, and I've got a Korg tactile here. So I can play it from the keyboard or from the ribbon, so you can do what you want. So obviously with a keyboard like this, it's quite nice to be able to play on a MIDI keyboard. It means I can play up to 3 notes simultaneously. Or if I put it into unison mode, the other benefit of having a MIDI keyboard here is that I can assign all of my controllers to these parameters. So for instance, I've got a chaos pad on here. And you can see when I'm touching the pad there, this is lighting up to tell me that I'm using that parameter. If I change another parameter, the delays light up, for example, here. So let's make a pattern. We've got a metronome built into here as well, it's quite useful. Let's stick that on to get us going. If I'm in poly mode, because I've got 3 notes, I can effectively record 3 lines of music. So I've recorded that little line there. Let's overdub another one. Third one. You've also got other modes called a ring modulator, a unison ring and a poly ring as well. So you get some really interesting, really metallic sounds out of that. You notice because of the sync, because it's only per beat, I can start it anywhere in the beat and anywhere in the bar. So I might want to start it on beat 2, and then you get a nice kind of cross rhythm happening. Still in time, but it's a different kind of syncopation, which is quite interesting. So the 4th one in the range, Volca Sample. This is the new addition to the family, and a little bit different from the other ones because it's not analog, because it's a sampler, so obviously it's digital. We've got 100 samples built in by default, but you can also, via an app, on Android or iOS, or some free software, you can get your own samples into it. So any kind of sounds you want, you can trigger from here. It does come with 100 built in, like I said, so when you're in live mode, you can trigger the samples. You can choose whatever sample you want. You have got an analog aspect to it, and that's the isolator here. So if you think of that like a filter over the whole kind of mix, you've got built-in reverb, you've got swing on here as well, which is unique to this Volca. So the way that you make your patterns is actually very similar to the Volca Beats. So let's start from scratch again, make a pattern. So I've started it off. Let's go into step mode. To the floor kick drum. Next part. Maybe a nice cabassa, but what's nice is that we've got this matrix so I can get in there and edit the sample. So I can clip it short, change the start point, change the level, pan it, filter it. So let's, I'll record live now a pattern. As I said, one of the coolest things in this Volca is you've got swing built in. So that means you can get a bit more of a kind of feel going. So swing is on 0 at the moment, so everything is playing completely straight. But if I want to, I can tweak it to give it a bit of a dotted feel. So you can see how quickly you can get something moving. Creatively amazing, no computers, no boot up time, switch them on, off you go. They run on batteries as well, so you can use them anywhere, stick in a pair of headphones and you're making your beats on the move. Like I said, 4 in the range, they're all available here at the show from DJ Kit. They're only £85 each as well here at the show, so there's an absolute steal. To get an analog synth for that price is unbelievable. So we've also got them on our stand down there, so if you want to come and check them out, do so. Otherwise, thanks for listening.